See, because in order to know the appearance of an angel and a demon, you cannot just base it on the structure, you have to base it on character. They say you judge things by character. How does character appear? There has to be an action. Because appearance is what led to narcissists dominating the world for the past few years. Same way with warlocks, same way with witches. Modern day witches, that is, and warlocks. Those people who appear to you they just meet all your, they tick all your boxes. People have boxes. I mentioned the concept of the handler in the previous videos. A warlock can also function like a handler. Same with a narcissist. A warlock reports to a narcissist. Same with a witch. They mine energy and then take it to a narcissist. They are just buckets. Harvest energy, take it to your, go and feed these energy vampires. Celebrities are warlocks, so they look handsome and beautiful. If they don't align with their duty, they are humiliated publicly. That's how you know. If you see a celebrity getting humiliated, just know they are not applying themselves, like the way Big Worm says. Don't apply yourself. You're not bring, the bucket is not full, or it's not, the energy is not pure, as they say. You know, the Most High can let you do things for so long, to a point where you get comfortable. You've been getting away, you get away, you get away, you get away. And they show up. And you cannot longer say, I did this because I had this wound. One person hurt you, how do you go around running over 50 other people and then you say it's just one person who made you do all this? Then you'll be asked, why do you not do any aspects of healing that pain? Then you say there are no tools to heal. Notice how fast people run to their insurance cards when they just experience a slight illness. If people did the same way they do to their own body, they feel ill, or their own cars, when there's a problem or an engine, or it has a scratch, you just want to do all the painting. You want to do the whole body painting. Because the reason why people do the same for the cars and their bodies, because someone can be able to see it. A narcissist will always try to cover that which is present. That's why I don't judge people by their appearance. Narcissists talk less. Why? They don't want to be figured out. Careful with people who pretend to talk less. Back in those days in movies, it was badass to talk less. But what happens when people start emulating the movies? Narcissists, their life is like a movie. And it's a game. But when you remove love out of reality, everything else becomes a game. You trick people, when they fall down, you start laughing. We used to play that concept when we were children. You trick your friend and then you start laughing at them while they are crying. Then you think all these things originate when people are grown-ups. Everything starts from a seed. then the seed has to take root. And once it takes root, it means it has already established its foundation. Start growing. Then what happens when it starts growing? Start having all these branches. Start spreading out. So the 200 Grigori, or the 200 angels, came here and they taught people stuff. Let's say they taught people war and all these things and all that. That's why they were punished. There's a lot of listing if you go to these books. Nomailish, just the concept of Mesopotamia also has that concept. They call them the Ikiki, not the Igiki. Because in order for someone to do something, they have to learn from their superior. People have always considered archangels to be badass, and they just see angels are just these flowers to just tramp on. You just want to step on them. Angels are servants. The aspect of service is very, very... It's the most difficult job in the entirety. In a scenario where you don't get a thank you, and you're okay with that, such angels you'll never hear their names. Just like look at the concept of history. The world. Say history is written by victors. What does that mean? Whoever wins will make sure they write the story to their best impression. Not in neutrality. Because if you say victors are writing the story, what happens to those who lost? They get to be written in a way that it's not fair. It's to what they fought for. People are fighting for things these days. It's always starts with the minority. Why did they have to pick just 200, the number 200? Because it's easy to dismiss a small number of beings doing an action without actually checking why they did such actions. Because in these books, maybe if you check the current Bible, you notice there's a big gap up between the concept of the Grigori and how the story is told. It's told in a very summarized way. You don't think you can fit a page. It's a few lines and then that's it, then everybody runs with the story. Picture a situation where you have a justifiable cause on a particular situation. You have been hurt by someone. Let's say it's a significant other. But the way your story is being told, just because people think you're not popular, so the significant other is popular. Maybe let's say it's a celeb. The people will be like, oh, you just want to destroy the name of the celebrity. Your story is not factual. You'll be very angry. And most people end up in this substance abuse because they feel their story is not being told. Where do you think that energy came from? Of your story not being told in a proper way possible? It comes from you absorbing another person's story, not being told in a proper way. Then you're going to get the same injustice. The angle is going to be flipped back at you. So I never buy these stories of, oh, Lucifer fell because of pride. The angels just fell because they came here to teach people war and all these sexual acts. Everybody these days they are talking about sexual acts. They want to measure their prowess. But you want to blame the angels. You see.